Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. And though technically it's not the first Tuesday of a brand new month, I still want to share with you guys the releases that are coming out this month that I am most excited about on 4K and Blu-ray. Actually, my whole top 5 this month are all 4K releases, which I don't think has happened in the past. So lots of really cool items hitting 4K this month. Before we get into that, of course I will hit my honorable mentions though. So let's not waste any time at all. Let's dive right into the 5 home media releases that I need to own from January. So I'll start off with my honorable mentions, and as I always say, I'm going off my phone here with all my research, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. Typically, I will go through these in the order of release. However, all of the honorable mentions today are releasing on the exact same day, January 21st. It is a ridiculously big day, a ridiculously expensive day, if you wanted all of these, for physical media. So the 21st is a big one. You will see a 21st release on my top 5 as well, but the honorable mentions all come out on January 21st. And I'll also mention all of the prices I talk about are as of me doing my research, probably about 2 days before this video goes live. So keep that in mind. They are always subject to change. So no particular order to the honorable mentions today. I'll start off with 3 films though that are all being upgraded to 4K from Quentin Tarantino, one of my all-time favorite directors. We have Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2, along with the most underrated, I think, Quentin Tarantino film, Jackie Brown. I love Jackie Brown and I love Kill Bill Volume 1. These are excellent films. I like Kill Bill Volume 2, but for my money, it is a notable step down from the original. But I would love to get all of these, but there is so much coming out at one time. I can't possibly afford all of these. So I might end up grabbing Jackie Brown out of the 3 of these. I might end up grabbing that one and then just holding off on the Kill Bill duology, but we'll see where the month takes me. I have no idea, but I don't have any of these pre-ordered at this point, so I don't know which way I'll end up going by the end of the month here. But I'll mention, if you do want steelbook versions of these, they're actually exclusive to the Lionsgate website, which is really weird, but that's where you can get them. They are $40 a pop on the website. If you are interested in these 3, they are currently $33.29 each on Amazon. So that's why I haven't gotten all 3 of these yet, or pre-ordered all 3 of these, because that's $100 right there alone, and then you add tax on top of it. So I will definitely upgrade these at some point, but I am holding off a little bit, at least as I sit here today. So we'll see by the end of the month. So that is Kill Bill Volume 1, Kill Bill Volume 2, and Jackie Brown, all getting separate releases from Lionsgate. Next up, I'll talk about an Arrow Video release. The Cell is hitting 4K, and this is a movie that I've wanted to see for so long. I think I only have the DVD of it in my collection, and I think I got that one kind of by happenstance through my inherited movie collection. But this is one I definitely want to check out, and frankly, I'll probably end up getting this one, but I'll probably do it in store because Barnes & Noble is running a 50% off Arrow Video sale this month. Currently, this one is $34.99 on Amazon, but I'm guessing when it releases, or if you just want to pick it up at Barnes & Noble, it'll be $24.99. So this one looks stacked. It's an Arrow Video release. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. I'm definitely probably, which is ridiculous, but I'll probably end up with this one just because I always like taking advantage of that Arrow Video sale. So that is The Cell from Arrow Video on 4K. Next up is a Scream Factory release that I was really surprised to see getting that boutique treatment, because for my money, I feel like so many people just didn't like this movie, but I really enjoyed it. I talked about it recently because, of course, I just picked it up on Blu-ray. It went down to around like $8 within the past few months here, so I ended up picking it up. This is The Last Voyage of the Demeter. I think this movie is great. It's a Dracula story, and it's done really well. Very intrigued to see how it looks on 4K, but I've yet to watch the Blu-ray I just picked up, so I'll probably hold off on this one, at least at the start here. Maybe Maybe if it goes on sale, I'll pick it up. But for now, this one is sitting on my honorable mentions. This one is currently $32.99 on Amazon. And then the last one I want to talk about today for honorable mentions is the only Blu-ray I'll talk about. And actually, there is a 4K available of this as well. But this is a 2024 horror film, Heretic. And this one is coming from A24. So if you do want to get the 4K of this, it is an A24 shop exclusive, which I checked the price on it. I believe, yeah, it's $35 plus $5 shipping. At least that's what the shipping was for me. So about 40 bucks to pick that one up on 4K if you want, or you can go with the Blu-ray route off of Amazon. That is currently marked at $30. I'm not spending $30 on this Blu-ray. It's just not going to happen. So once this one gets the Blu-ray down to around, I don't know, 17, 20 bucks, somewhere around there, I'll probably pick it up because I want to see it. It looks really cool. It's about these, I guess these Mormons end up at this individual's house and they're trying to recruit him, but he's an evil human being, I guess. And so it sounds really interesting and things are going to take a turn from there. So I definitely want to see it. I just don't want to spend a lot of money to see this one. So this is Heretic coming from Blu-ray or coming from A24 on Blu-ray and 4K. And again, if you want that 4K, it is available on the A24 shop exclusively for about $40. So lots of really cool honorable mentions this month, but let's jump over now to my top 5. All right, so coming in at number 5 is a horror film that I really enjoy. This is from Kino Lorber, April Fool's Day from 1986. And this one is coming out on, you guessed it, January 21st. Like I said, it is a very busy day for physical media, but this is one that it is a slasher film and it kind of turns things on its head a little bit as the movie progresses. And I had a great time with this the first time I saw it. Now, there is a Scream Factory boutique label release of this on Blu-ray, but I didn't end up picking that one up. And so because of that, I would love to get this 4K release. However, this is the only of my top 5 that I don't have pre-ordered. And really the only reason is because I imagine this is going to go on sale from Kino Lorber within the next few months here. They have sales all the time. So if there's any Kino titles that you think you can hold off on, if you don't really care about getting that slipcover too much, then, you know, I always recommend holding off because they have so many sales and their 4Ks are usually down to around $17.99, even just a few months after release. So that's what I'm holding out hope for on this one because I really like the movie. I only own it on DVD, and so I would love to upgrade it. So this one, this 4K release, is getting that Dolby Vision and HDR10 color grade treatment, which is great to see. And then Kino Lorber's website also lists a 5.1 lossless surround option. I'm sorry, a 5.1 surround option, and then a lossless 2.0 option. So those are the audio options available for this one. In terms of special features, there is only one new item, and that is an audio commentary track by 3 film historians. Outside of that, though, they did manage to port over all 6, I believe it is, of the special features that were created by Scream Factory on their release. So really cool to see those on this Kino Lorber release. So it should be the ultimate release of this, but I guess time will tell with how that transfer looks. But it's looking good on paper, which is exciting. So this one is currently $31.49 on Amazon. But like I said, if you can hold off, you're not too worried about that slipcover, it may go on sale on Kino's website before too long here. That's what I'm holding out hope for. So this is April Fool's Day hitting 4K from Kino Lorber on January 21st. Coming in at number 4 is a movie that I should have watched so many years ago, but I just haven't yet. And I have no excuse because it's literally right there behind me. It's been in my collection for a while. I just haven't sat down to watch it. But at this point, I'm going to hold off for this 4K because not only is it getting the 4K treatment, but it's getting the 4K Steelbook treatment. I'm talking about Snowpiercer from 2015, and this one is being released by Lionsgate on 4K on January 14th. So like I said, this is a beautiful looking steelbook from Lionsgate. Their line in general is great, but this one really takes the cake for me. It looks fantastic. So cannot wait to finally check this one out. I mean, I should love this movie. It's a post-apocalyptic setting. It's I want to say a one location setting, all on the train, at least I'm guessing all on the train. And then it's based off of a graphic novel. Like, those are three things I tend to enjoy. I should really like this movie. So really looking forward to checking this one out. Like I said, I'll wait until the 4K comes out at this point because it's just a couple of weeks now. But in terms of the release itself, it is getting that Dolby Vision and HDR10 color treatment, which is good to see. Plus, it is doing a Dolby Atmos audio track as well, which is an upgrade from the Blu-ray that's behind me. That is just a 5.1. So hopefully it's a good upgrade, but we will see. And then on the special features side, this is another one where there's nothing new here, but it is porting over all of the special features from the previous Blu-ray release, which is really cool to see. Most notable, there's like almost an hour-long documentary on the making of the film, and that is included on this 4K release, which is awesome. As far as I can tell, they just took this two-disc Blu-ray set and they put it in with the 4K release. So that's always cool to see. This really should be the definitive release of this movie. Again, assuming that the transfer looks worthwhile. So this one I am very excited about. This is currently $34.99 on Amazon, and I do have this one pre-ordered. Cannot wait for this one to hit. Unfortunately, though it comes out on the 14th, mine is not listed to arrive by the 14th, so I have no idea when I'll actually get it. I did pre-order this one late, so we'll see. Fingers crossed I'll get this one before the end of the month. But this is Snowpiercer getting the 4K Steelbook treatment from Lionsgate on January 14th. Number 3 is a 4K release that should already be at my doorstep, but as I sit here today filming it, it has not yet arrived. I think it's coming tomorrow, and I am really looking forward to checking this one out. This is Seven from 1995, being released by Warner Brothers. It hit this week, January 7th. So this one has actually gotten some talk about it already because there is some AI manipulation in this 4K transfer. But everything I've read about it, the reviews I was reading, is that it's not super noticeable unless you were doing like side by side. So hopefully it won't be as controversial as like the James Cameron 4K releases, but I guess time will tell. We're also getting Panic Room later this year from Fincher, which is a favorite of mine. I love that movie. So I'm curious to see what he does with AI with that one compared to this. So I have no idea, but this should be a very interesting release. Now, I love this movie. I own it on Blu-ray behind me, and I own it twice on DVD. And there's a reason for that, and actually that video has been planned for like a year now, and I haven't done it yet, but the original DVD release is the only way outside of Laserdisc to get the original theatrical color grading. And so I had to pick up that DVD and just compare it. And when I compared that DVD to either the Blu-ray or the more recent DVD of it, there's definitely a difference. And so I'm wondering if this 4K release is going back to the original theatrical color grade or if it's going to stick with that Blu-ray color grading. So I'm very excited to check this one out and just see how it looks compared to some of the older releases. But again, there's AI involved, and I know some people just hate it, and because of that, they just won't buy it. And that's fine, that's your prerogative, but I definitely need to check this one out. So in terms of the disc itself, no Dolby Vision here or Dolby Atmos. It is just getting that HDR10 color grade, and then a DTS HD Master Audio 5.1. Now, if you're familiar with their older releases, this might sound like a downgrade from the, I believe it was a there was a 7.1 audio option on the Blu-ray. However, from all accounts, this release is it actually sounds better than that 7.1 release does. This is supposed to be a better way to hear this movie. Now, in terms of the special features, here's where things get a little weird, because while most of them are ported over, again, nothing new, but most of them are ported over. However, there are a couple of Blu-ray specific special features that are not transferred over to this release because the color grading wasn't the same. The audio transfer is not the same, and those are specifically about that Blu-ray's transfer treatment and the audio treatment. So they didn't port those over, which makes sense, but anything you can consume about this film, I want to have. So I'll probably end up holding on to my old release as well. Anyway, this one is $24.98 for the standard release on Amazon. And then there's also a Steelbook release of this that you can pick up, and that one is $35.19 on Amazon. I ended up going with the standard release because I thought that was a pretty good price for it. I did hold off on the Steelbook, but both are options if you're interested. So this one, again, hit this week, January 7th. Let me know if you already have it, what you think of the transfer down in the comments below. But this is Seven from Warner Brothers. Coming in at number 2 is one that already has some I'll call it conversation surrounding it. I won't call it controversy yet, but this is Inglourious Bastards, and this is from Arrow Video, hitting 4K on January 14th. So I love this movie, so there is virtually no chance I'm not upgrading the standard 4K version I have sitting next to me, but this one, like I said, has some conversation around it because apparently some people don't love the new transfer from Arrow Video and they prefer the old transfer. So I'm excited to see these side by side to see which one I prefer, but either way, this one I'm definitely grabbing. So here's another 4K release this month that is not getting Dolby Vision. It's just getting HDR10 and no Dolby Atmos on this either. It is getting that original lossless DTS HD master audio track. So something to keep in mind if you really want these to be upgrades. You might not get it as much on the audio side here. But either way, again, this is just like a top 3 Tarantino film for me. I think if you had to ask me, I'd probably put Pulp Fiction for sure at number 1, and then probably Django Unchained at number 2, and then Inglourious Basterds would likely sneak in at number 3. But don't hold me to that. I could change my mind tomorrow, but that's how I look at it right now. I love this movie. In terms of the special features, most everything has been ported over, and there are a number of new features on here. There's an audio commentary track from author and film critic Tim Lucas on the 4K disc, and then there's a bonus feature Blu-ray that has 6 new special features, 5 of which are interviews, and then the last one is a visual essay. In fact, the only thing that's missing from the original 4K release, there was an hour-long interview with like the New York Times, I believe it was, with Tarantino that is not included here, unfortunately. So I've actually not watched that special feature yet. I'll have to do that to see if it's worth holding on to that other disc for, or if it's something I can watch once and be done with. But that is one that is missing from this release. So this one is a bit odd because the 4K page, at least when I was doing my research from the one that I did my pre-order on, is no longer up, but I ended up spending $29.99 on this, which fortunately is exactly what it would be if I were to pick this up from Barnes & Noble when it releases, due to that half off sale. So fortunately, this one is a good price at the $29.99 price tag. But again, you can get that from Barnes & Noble for the same price if you're interested. So cannot wait for this one. This is Inglourious Bastards coming out on January 14th from Arrow Video. So it wouldn't be right if my number 1 wasn't something releasing on January 21st, but this is The Substance from 2024, and it's being released by Mubi, I think is how you say that, M-U-B-I, Mubi. This, to me, was probably my favorite horror film of 2024. It is the most bonkers, over-the-top, absurd movie I saw last year. I went with my buddy to see this one, and frankly, I didn't really know what I was getting into, but this is a body horror film to the max. And boy, did he not like that. Like, you couldn't pay him to watch this movie again, where myself, like, I can't wait to see this one a second time. Like, this is such a ridiculous, crazy movie that I have to watch it again. It actually reminds me of I think it's 1989 Society by Brian Yuzna. If you've seen that one, like, just a crazy, nuts body horror film that I highly recommend if you are into that. But this one is very similar to that. Like, the ending specifically, they had to have watched Society and then came up with that ending because it's very similar in feel. It's just insane. If you don't know what this one is about, it stars Demi Moore, and she is an aging celebrity, and she's trying to do anything she can to hold on to her youth. And so some way, somehow, this mysterious kind of black market drug comes into her possession, and it's supposed to essentially like create another younger version of herself, and it's just nuts. Actually, the younger version is played by somebody who I just watched in this movie here, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Margaret Qualley, I believe is her name, which I have next to me because I have to talk about this one soon. But she's excellent in this, as is Demi Moore. This is an awesome movie if you like this type of film. It is so over the top, so much. One, there's tons of nudity. 2, there's tons of gore. It is just insanity all around, but highly recommend it if you are a fan of movies like that. So really excited to get my hands on this one. So this 4K release is getting that Dolby Vision treatment, which is great to see, but it's getting a DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 track and no Dolby Atmos. So keep that in mind if you're picking this one up. And unfortunately, there's only one special feature listed on the back of this box here, and it's featurette. That's it. That's all it says. So I have no idea about the length of this one at all, or I'm just assuming it's a making of featurette, but I really don't know for sure. I would love for this to get a boutique treatment at some point down the line, because I think there's so much to say about this movie. Like, I think that'll be the case, because it's one of those weird movies that somebody like Arrow Video could put out in the future. But I am so excited to get this one on physical media. For some reason, it felt like one of those movies that may or may not get the physical media treatment. So happy to say that it is, and one that I am absolutely picking up. This is $29.49 for the 4K right now on Amazon. And I'll mention there is a Blu-ray available. I don't have the price listed right here, but definitely check that out if you want to go the Blu-ray route on this one. It's going to be a little bit cheaper, of course. But this is The Substance hitting 4K from Mubi on January 21st. All right, so before I wrap things up, I do want to talk about the monthly costs. So I'll say what the total is if I were to buy everything that I talked about in this video today, which of course I'm not going to, but if I were to, it would cost me $348.79. So a very expensive month, but I still think that's cheaper than December, what I ended up spending in December. So it is what it is. Now, if you look at just the top 4 or 5 on what I know I'm getting, it's closer to about 150. So much more manageable over the course of a month than 350 bucks. But anyway, I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. What are you planning on picking up this month? Anything that I've talked about today? Did I miss some major ones that you're grabbing? Of course, I looked through everything, but these were the ones that I was most interested in. So I want to hear what you're most interested in down in the comments below. But that is going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I really do appreciate you watching all the way to the end here. That really does help me out. Before you go, I'll just encourage you all to consume some media today. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you all next time.